Call to order the Charter Township of Bedford Parks and Recreation meeting. Stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call. Tony Artis, present. Grayson Finch,
Present.
Susan Gehrman. Yep. Hayden Heikela is at a summer camp. So she's excused. Cody McCarty,
Present.
Anthony Roller,
Present.
and Zena Perry is on vacation. Okay. Approval of the June 1st, 2026 agenda. I do have one correction up at the top. It should say June 22nd, not June 1st. That was my mistake. Do I have?
I'll make a motion.
All right, Cody made a motion.
Second.
Mr. Roller seconded. Then anybody else have any additions or deletions? All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Anybody opposed, say nay. Okay, motion passes. The approval of the June 1st, 2026 meeting minutes. Has everybody had a chance to look at them? I know I got them out late.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, Cody motion. I'll second. 2 seconds. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, say nay. Okay, motion carries and it's accepted. And now we'll have public comment on agenda items only. Do we have any public comment on agenda items only? None? We'll move on to discussion. Unfinished business. Our bylaws still need updating and I will get them typed up before the next meeting. Basically, there's just a couple of things that need to be changed and then we just need to accept those. Master plan has expired and we need to create a new one and it's not who I thought did them before. I looked that up.
Oh, okay.
It was a different company. And since we have funding, I think we'll look at those and then get somebody to type them up because we really should have an active master plan that says what we're going to do over the next 5 years, so that we can advise the township and make sure that things that are getting presented are in our master plan or updated. Cleanup days. Brookside Annex is this Saturday, June 27th, starting at 9 o'clock.
I can't remember if we did 8 or 9, but whatever we decided.
I think it was 9.
Okay.
We said 9. I actually found one year they didn't start till 11. So
Way too long.
yeah, we're going to start at 9. Cody mentioned that dumpsters have been ordered.
Yeah.
Do we have the black contractor bags?
I know we have some, but we'll get some more.
Okay.
For sure. And I think I have like wheelbarrows or anything like that they want to pull, bring along.
Oh, I was going to ask you about that.
That was
Okay.
my dad's big wagon thing.
All right.
Bring weed whackers and stuff like that too, or?
Nah, cause that's covered under the, cemetery maintenance. Those guys will do it. He did warn me that they probably won't get to Lower Brookside this week because it is very sloppy and wet down there right now, but, yeah, mainly just the trash and stuff and.
Okay.
whatever else we can haul out of there. I'm sure there'll be some surprises in the wooded part.
All right, and the dumpster will be located up at Upper Brookside, but we are meeting at Lower Brookside to start. Okay. And then on July 18th, we move on to Markham Park, which is, from what I hear, always a big undertaking.
Yeah. Yeah. 2 years ago, we filled a 30-yard dumpster in like 2.5 hours, and we left out there.
Now, at the last one they did at Markham Park, they also combined that with collecting hygiene supplies for the veterans. Do we want to do something like that, or do we just concentrate this time around on cleaning up the park?
So that was like, I remember right at the beginning, and then we had a bin out here,
Okay.
because it coincided with, July 1st, tax bills go out. So anytime coming up, more people will be flowing through the office. So if we want to put some sort of donation bin out in the
Okay.
lobby, it kind of coincided with that. And then it ran throughout the summer into fall. And we ended up getting way more than hygiene supplies. We got coats, hats, gloves, all sorts of things. And
Okay.
I believe she had a contact from Silver Star that she took them to.
All right, we'll see if the township will give us permission to put something in for that. Does anybody have any other questions or concerns about cleanup days?
I haven't been over there and is where we're going in off Snow?
Yeah.
Cross street.
Or yeah,
Cross Street.
Oh, Cross Street, okay.
Yeah, the parking lot is on Cross Street.
Okay.
And then you're not available this weekend, right? Okay. So neither one of our young folks is available. So hopefully we'll get some volunteers that come in that.
The guys, Thor and them gonna be there then?
I hope so. I let them know about it. I'll double check this when I see them tomorrow.
Okay.
Especially if it's helpful because they'll have their front end loader, or they can bring the front end loader.
And Trustee McKay said something about his tractor, but I don't know if that was just for Markham or.
Probably just for Markham because
Okay.
it has all the trails, but he's got
Okay.
a pretty large tractor.
Okay.
Bring.
Okay, moving right along. Beautiful Bedford Township Award Program. Now I'm gonna be the first one to admit that I'm behind on that. Did anybody come up with some?
I have one address.
Okay.
I also have one.
Okay. If you guys want to send them to me in an email, then we'll go from there
I'll send you a picture
and
too.
see if we can get.
I'll talk with a few folks
This
this week about the
Okay.
headphones, so.
All right. Anybody else have any?
Is there a deadline on this?
Well, we had
I mean,
said at this
absolutely.
meeting,
I
but
know.
no, there's no absolute deadline.
Cause I only got one,
Yeah.
but I would still like to.
The township
around.
meeting is July 12th,
Yeah.
the next township meeting, so. Before then, but I need to talk to them first to make sure we can present them there. If not, we'll present them at our next meeting.
Okay. If I don't have the name of the person, you guys will be able to
Yeah.
Yeah, just let
get
me
it
know
from the
address, I can
address.
get it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know maiden name, but I don't know married name.
All right, moving on to our biggest topic tonight. Well, one of our biggest topics, is the Bedford Township Days, which is September 19th at Skeet Scareman Park. I will have a resolution at the next township board meeting for them to pass, designating that day as Bedford Township Days, because I need that in order to get the state to shut down M37 for a short time for the parade. So it has to come from a board resolution. Last month, we talked about a lot of different things and what we'd like to see happen, and I need to know how you guys want to go ahead forward in planning this. Do you want to do all of the planning at this meeting and the next meeting? Do you want to have a meeting in between? Where we talk nothing except except for the township days? We do have money. We need to come up with kind of a budget on what we want to spend so that we can get that approved. And I'd like to get some rough numbers of what we think tonight, so maybe we can even get that approved at the July meeting, an authorization to start looking at things. I know the parade will kick off. It looks like it usually kicks off at 10:30. Turns up the street by the park and ends at the school. So now we need to find people who would like to be in the parade. I know the Shriners have already expressed an interest. And then we have, we talked about doing a grand marshal, our Citizens of the Year. And one of the things I was thinking of is, I think I mentioned this last time, but I'm not sure. We have 3 township residents who in this past few months, and then one yet this summer who turned 100 years old. And I think it would be nice to invite them to participate. I know two of the 3 have no problems getting around or stuff, and so I just think it would be nice to invite them. Now, I've read in old minutes and stuff that up to 500 people attend this. Is that accurate? So the last minute I looked at said there were 500 individuals that showed up. I wasn't there, so I don't know.
It was 500. We had a decent turnout throughout the day. It was the same day as the spaghetti dinner, but I think it kind of thought with that people decided they wanted to do something in the morning or in the evening. There was definitely a couple hundred. I don't know if it was 500, but yeah, we had a pretty good turnout.
And
So how are you going to advertise this? Are you just gonna go by Facebook and webpage, or you gonna put something
no, those will
in the
be
shopper?
right.
Yeah, we can do shop.
The shopper, and we can take flyers and post them in local businesses. And no, definitely going to utilize the shopper.
So you're gonna put invitations out for the parade? Let's send invitations to people that you would like to see.
People in groups, yep.
If we youth groups or.
Yep. And I know you said, Cody, you said the church wants to be
They usually like to be very involved.
the church in Bedford.
Yeah, I'll reach out to them.
Just before I forget, I got a history topic to talk to you about later. Okay. Remind me.
So how soon do you think you start advertising?
Well, I think we have to wait until July 12th to get,
Oh, I gotta wait for
the township to do that proclamation or whatever they want to call it, resolution. And then I don't know why we can't solicit before then
Oh, yeah.
for people to participate in, because that's just formal action that needs to be taken. They've already, if I remember right, did they talk about that? Was that included in the other date? I had submitted all the dates for our stuff to be approved, but then they only went for meeting dates, so I wasn't,
Not sure. I know they spoke
Okay.
about it.
all right.
I don't see it getting shot down.
Okay, so do you have some groups in mind you'd like? No? Okay,
No.
I just wondered.
I just think earlier you advertised it, maybe as a turnout.
Yeah,
Yeah, we could do a couple different, like every other week for those 2 months or something. The older shopper has gotten expensive. The advertising, like $430, I think,
for, how big of an ad?
small.
Oh, kidding me.
That's why with like planning commission stuff, we essentially lose money every special land use or anything because the application fees taken up by just the shopper and the mailers.
All right, well, we'll reach out through the shopper. Maybe we can just do, instead of an ad, do like a what's happening thing that maybe they will put in there. But then we'll send out letters to churches and organizations in the area.
See if local businesses that have like the boards out front could maybe post about it too.
Yeah. Okay, and I know at the last meeting, we talked about all the different games and stuff that we would like to, that township residents had recommended and some other people, and they talked about a parade, an area just for young kids games, separate from the bigger kids stuff. Looks like maybe all the bigger kids games came from fund services. We talked about that. And face painting, bouncy houses, a petting zoo. We talked about a dunk tank. And then we talked about the weather because of the dunk tank. And who would be willing to get in a dunk tank. So I've been tossing out some feelers, and one thing I came up with is that, and we used to do this when I worked at the Federal Center for a CFC, to raise money, is you had somebody build a makeshift jail cell. And then people could pay to have somebody arrested. And it would be a silly thing. Then they would have to make phone calls to arrange their bail. And at the same time that people were making calls to arrange bails, other people could be paying to keep them in there longer. So, and it used to be a very good fundraiser for the Federal Center. I don't know if that's something we want to do. A couple of trustees have already volunteered to sit in it if we do. It was also suggested that I had to sit in it. So I'm like, I'll take my turn, I'll take my turn. So I don't know if any of the rest of you want to sit in it and take a turn, or she's like, no. Cody. So, but we'll make up a list. Do you guys like that idea, or? Okay.
Probably more realistic than finding people willing to be dunked.
Dunks, yeah. And I told them, well, I could take my turn in the dunk tank, but
I'll go in the dunk tank.
you'll go in the dunk tank? And then, do you know, Cody, how much they allocated in the past?
I don't, I believe all the receipts were in Danielle's stuff,
Okay,
For the invoices.
okay.
if I remember.
I
right, but
saw
they might
some
not.
things in there. That's how come my new fund services, and now when fund services come, do you know if they sometimes they will provide workers to man the booths. Did they man the booths or did they just
They
set
did
up?
not, they
No.
set up and I think they kept one person on site.
Okay.
Just in case something went wrong. But that was one thing that we kind of messed up on is we had all these things and only so many
Workers.
volunteers. So like I did the duck race and then I manned 2 things. So there was kids that one was like a Velcro darts board, the other was, I don't even know what it was. But it got very, you gotta run over here, cheer this kid on, get a candy run over here and
And you, all right. And you said that, the prizes like they handed out were mainly candy and.
yeah, we just bought a bunch of bulk candy. Pretty much like the Halloween bags and stuff.
All right, I may be able to donate some kids' prizes, for some bigger things, and then maybe some stuff for a silent auction or something like that. Doing some cleaning out, so see what I can come up with. And then, we'll ask some businesses to see. I know there's not a lot of businesses in Bedford Township. But we don't just have to stick within the boundaries. Family Fair, Meyer, they're all good about supporting community.
Yeah, I believe Family Fair gave $100 gift card to the winner of the chili cook-off last time.
Okay, that's another question. You talked about that. But then said that it was a lot to ask people to do.
Yeah, I mean, especially everything's more expensive now. So to make food you might only get 5 people eating your chili, you might get 200 that want to try the chili. So they have to make
Never know.
fairly large pot. And then logistically, I think we put a pretty big string when there's 9 people with crock pots all plugged into 2 circuits. There was always the worry that, you're going to start blowing fuses and
So do we not even want to contemplate doing that, or any thoughts, ideas? You want to think about it? Or come up?
How do you think it went?
it went well. It was definitely more of a popularity contest because you pay I think it was $2 to get your initial ticket to taste test everyone's and then vote for who you wanted to win.
Mm-hmm.
But then you could pay more for more tickets.
To put more tickets in?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So you got more donation money that way, but it was whoever brought the most people that were willing to, throw some money down won. They probably spent more than they won with a gift card, but
I was gonna say, what feedback did you get from the people that were making the chili? Like, yeah, we'll do this again, or it was a bust?
it was a lot of the same people that had done it the prior year.
Mm-hmm.
Just doing it again. There was a lot of friends
Okay.
and stuff like that. There was a couple new people. Yeah, I think it was hit or miss with some.
Okay.
I mean, people like eating chili, that's for sure. But once they realize it was a pay to win, essentially, I think it took kind of the magic away for a lot of people. Made some of the contestants a little salty.
Yeah, I don't know about that then, if they got going that way. I don't know if we wanna push that.
It was great for the
Same
nation.
thing.
And I'll be the first to admit that, but
Huh.
not very fair.
Or became more of a popularity
Yeah.
contest? Okay. Well, should we think about something else? We have time on that. Should we try and come up with a better idea or better?
Like you could have judges, but then how you gonna, I guess your money would be made in for people who wanna taste the chili, but you could have judges that would be impartial rather than putting the votes in.
Yeah.
That's just an option.
That's not a bad idea, especially if we have grand marshals They could be the judges.
Where was it located at? Was that at the Masonic Temple?
No, that was under the pavilion.
Under the pavilion,
Yeah.
okay. Cause some of the notes made it sound like it was at the Masonic. Maybe the Masonic sponsored it?
Maybe.
Okay, I'll have to look again. And the church did hot dogs and,
And their coffee and hot chocolate and, yep, they have like a whole booth set up. And they also provided a massive amount of volunteers, decorations, yeah, they were very essential for
okay, so
getting that to run well.
How did you get, I know, I just remembered somebody was there selling honey and different, how did those people get contacted, do you know?
That I do not know. When I joined, it was about half planned. But I'm sure we get someone's interested in doing that. I'm sure we can figure something out.
And did they pay something
That
to,
I'm unsure of.
to do? Okay.
Rent the space. or
yeah,
something.
they
Yeah.
thought it, probably.
It's like, do that, people who have arts and crafts,
Mm-hmm.
or even some people from the farmer's market, might
Mhm.
not, I mean. Maybe, oh.
That would be the same day as the
That would be the
farmer's
same
market,
day
yeah.
as the farmer's market.
Oh,
So
just
If they could put
over.
it down there, that would bring people in. They put the farmer's market down there that day.
Yeah.
The only thing is about people coming to get stuff and having to walk a long ways.
Yeah.
Maybe we could do it up in the Lion parking lot though.
Might not be a bad idea.
I can check into that. And see if it's a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
We also had Bobby Holly and Robin Knott playing music. Robin Knott supplied the sound system and everything like that that they played through.
Now I know Bobby's supposedly
I
retiring.
heard that, yeah.
Um, he was down at Family Fair the other day. He's been down there a couple of times this month already.
I actually just had a bike on this week.
Did he?
Yeah.
So I'll look and see if there's contact information from Robin Knott or if somebody has somebody else. But if they provide the sound system, that's a big,
Oh, for sure.
big thing there. Okay, I'm gonna go back and look through those notes again. I've looked through them a couple of times and I'll see if there's something I missed. And then the proclamation, that will be done on the 12th. And we'll get letters sent out before then to vendors. We'll do some advertising in the shopper. And we'll look at budget wise, how much we want to spend.
You know how much they spent before? Any idea?
I've not seen anything where it lays out a budget, but I bet if I go back to some old board meetings,
Yeah, Joyce might even be able to pull
I might be able
the
to
receipts
find,
and stuff like that. I wanna say it was like between $2,500 and $3,200. It wasn't a lot.
so given how times have changed and costs are up, maybe tonight we can make a motion to allot up to 5,000, not saying we have to use that amount. And then if we're gonna go above that before we'll come back.
Cause most everything, unless you went to a vendor, was free,
Mhm.
correct?
Mhm.
All the kids' games and
Everything
everything
was
was
free,
free, yeah, okay.
Outside of the chili cook-off, the hot dogs and stuff were free from the church, coffee is free. I do think,
The hot dogs are free from the church?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
yeah, which is massive. Yeah, if I remember, right, the only paid thing was the chili cook-off.
Okay, but we have, yeah, that they pay for, but we have to pay
Yeah,
for all the stuff that. Which the biggest thing, now the receipts I looked at, it looked like from fund services. was a bouncy house. I saw that receipt.
Yep, there's a bouncy house and then I think 3 or 4 games. And they were the simple games, like one was we had the Velcro dart on the blow up board and but we also could try to find games where there aren't too much services, like the cornhole or something like this. Someone has some of those boards, see if they'll donate them for a day.
What would you think about? And I'm trying to think of things nowadays, but also bring in some history stuff to it. But like
Yeah.
a cakewalk or musical chairs. We don't have basketball hoops there, so they can't shoot.
What about a Bedford history area?
I think that would be a great idea.
Well, that might be hard to pull off, but we should have things left over from back in the day. I've got a suitcase somewhere that's got some things in it.
And that's what I wanted to talk to you about separate from here because it has nothing to do with Parks and Rec, but somebody
Okay.
told me about some historical stuff the other day they have. So I think a tent would be nice because they used to do that at the Urbandale Level Park homecoming. They always had a big tent where they had all the history stuff
Mhm.
from. And I tell people, you got to know where you came from in order to move forward. So that's why I want to get, when I talked to you earlier today, Cody, about Urbandale School. Because I know there might be some things in there that we could use.
Oh,
So, okay, does anybody have any other ideas about things to do at Bedford Days or? No, no. And I think, flyers up out in the Bedford area would be nice for the kids to know that they can ride their bikes in the parade. That used to always be a big thing. Maybe we could get some basketball players to walk in the parade bouncing basketballs.
I don't know if we have any horse clubs close by, but we used to get horses in the parades too. The horse
Okay.
clubs, the 4-H.
And a big large town in Dunlop.
Hmm?
And a big large town in Dunlop.
Yeah. He's 6 feet under.
Whenever we talk about Bedford Days, Cody brings that up.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Well, that's a cool thing. I know that.
all right. Where am I at here? Moving right along. New business. As many of you know and are aware, the playground equipment at Skeet Scareman was yanked out last week. I'm told somebody complained about it being unsafe and not good. And so the grounds crew guys were tasked with going out there and taking a look at it. They deemed it couldn't be fixed, and so it was taken out. So I came up here today and met with the supervisor, and Cody was in the meeting too. And what you'll see in your packet, the supervisor was looking for some replacement stuff to go in there. And we do have funding to cover it. Our thing is, we need to get something back in there because the park is rented out. When people rented it, it had playground equipment in it. And now they don't. This company, Cody, do you want to talk about it?
Sure.
Okay.
Playground boss, they have all sorts of playground things that are, did I get it on here? Yeah, ASTM, CPSC, and IPEMA certified. So it meets all the safety standards. That's unfortunately, we can't just replace it with the type of thing we had up there. I don't remember if that was donated or what, but that was before a lot of these were required to meet certain safety standards. We should act on this fast because this company is currently having between 15 and 50% off. And so this large one, the monkey in the middle set is 50% off right now, and it's still $18,452.
Oh,
So I get magazines about every month, and
Holy
the
cow.
big jungle gyms and stuff in there are usually $120,000. So I was worried, and then when the supervisor showed me these, I was like, okay, we gotta act on this, because I don't know how long this sale is gonna last, but spending, between the two of these, it'd be about $30,000. That beats just one thing being $40,000. But yeah, they meet all the standards for all the safety requirements. One thing I do need to look more into is they, didn't turn off on these 2 pages. They have, yes, the safety use zones for them are rather large. I think that's just because, they don't pack things in tight. That might mean, they want it 10 foot from another piece of equipment or something like that.
Mhm.
So you're not flying off a slide into a pole holding a slide.
Our kids are trying to jump from one thing to the other and.
Yeah. So we are kind of limited on the space that they'll hold the footprint down there. So there's still the swing set, which is 20 foot wide. We could move that. It's cemented in, but I don't think it's super deep footings or anything. But more than likely, we're gonna have to expand that place by at least a little bit. It's just like those black vinyl or plastic railroad tie looking things, the edges, and then mulch on top.
are these comparable to the things that were taken out?
I would say this is a pretty massive upgrade, honestly. The one that was taken out was very much for, I'd say 7 and under. It was one of those like molded yellow, red, blue plastic kind of.
This is actually improvement.
I would say big time, yeah.
I like the color because it blends in better.
Yep. And the slides, you can pick all sorts of color. The monkey in the middle, it was, I think, 2 colors, but this one had like 100. Obviously, we want to make them match. But yeah, like the monkey in the middle thing for ages 2 to 12. And then the slides 5 to 12. Then the monkey in the middle does come with a smaller slide as well for smaller kids. But I'd say it's a massive improvement over what we had down there.
Okay,
That was just kind of one of those that you can see in the residential backyard.
okay.
Whereas this is meant for either municipalities or
This is more
schools
commercial,
or,
right?
yeah.
So, like Cody said, it would require the play area to be expanded some. Or the other thing that, when we were talking about, when it was presented to us and we were talking about it, I said, well, this one could still go in. The monkey in the middle could still go into where the swings are at. I wouldn't want to try and move the swings because they're so old that it might cause more problems than anything. But have a separate play area for the big slide. And that would help keep some of the little kids off of it that, who want to go. It might help, but, and then it would spread out the play area just a little bit.
You have plenty of room down there, right, to expand?
Oh, yeah.
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 Yeah, I mean, I think it would honestly, we could fit everything in the current footprint. It just wouldn't, like this thing that the monkey in the middle, the safety use zone is 37 by 23, but looking at that, that's definitely not 37 by 23. But they just wanted to, have room in between that and other things. So we could fit it in there, but like Sue said, then you might get one crazy kid trying to jump off the roof of this onto the slide.
Right. And if we separate them out,
Yeah.
that will separate out where kids are playing too, so everybody's not gathered in one location.
So if we did have to expand, I don't think we have to expand it a lot, maybe 10 foot in one direction and a couple bags of mulch or something.
And like Cody said, he receives lots of magazines and lots of information. And because this place is running a sale right now, it's a deal. And the one thing I did confirm is that we do have the money to cover it.
That's great.
So,
Do we need to make a motion to accept it then, and then, it has to
I
be
think what
approved
we
by
can-
the board?
yeah, I think what we need to do is make a motion to suggest to the board that they purchase these two pieces of equipment to replace, what was taken out. And it's, what do we say, the total, so that's 30, so ask them to, these two, I'm sure there'll probably some installation costs and,
Yeah, I forget, if I remember right,
what do you,
they had, I think it was free shipping, but they had paper installation. If you paid them to install it, or, I mean, you could do it yourself, but then we have to find volunteers and then know what they're actually doing.
Right.
You know, it's on a
I would
study
say
day.
I would like to have them do it, that way.
They're the certified ones, so
Okay.
I'd feel more comfortable with that for
Do
sure.
you know,
Yeah, with the,
does it come with any type of
Liability and
warranty
everything.
or anything like that?
That I can look more into. I only printed off the first two sheets with
Okay.
like the main, I imagine it probably comes with something.
Oh, I imagine, yeah, after at least a few years, I would think, you know.
Yeah.
So,
and, I will say this, the supervisor said he wants to act fast on this,
Mhm.
to get this replaced, and he's even willing to,
Well, I'm willing to make a motion that we, purchase these and have them installed as soon as we could.
I second it. Yeah, especially for all these people that have rented the
yeah.
park, expecting to have
Yeah.
stuff for the kids to do.
So Cody, do you want to reach out to this place just to find out what installation costs might be and the warranty, and then we'll get that submitted to Supervisor Johnson, and he can proceed with how he wants to proceed.
Mhm.
All right, so I got a first and I got a second. This one requires a vote. Tony Artis, yes. Grayson Finch,
Yes.
Susan Gehrman,
Yes,
Cody McCarty,
Yes.
Anthony Roller.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. The other thing you got in your package is, a copy of the Calhoun County, Parks and Recreations and the millage operating guidelines as to what our funding can actually be spent for. Because, it can be confusing at times, but it will cover, we can use money to purchase new equipment, so. Okay, did anybody else have any new business they wanted to bring up or discuss before we move on to public comment? All right, now we move on to open public comment. Does anybody have anything they'd like to say? When everybody speak
I
at
want
once.
to say I'm Catherine LaValle, and it kind of relates to how we get the information out to the township, but I was able to view the most recent township board meeting, and the quality of the video and being able to hear people speaking was excellent. And I just wanted to say that it's really neat because that camera can spin around and go all the way to the back wall, or go over to this table here, or to the speaker at the lectern. And it was really cool to be able to see what was going on.
Thank you. The one thing I will add to that is eventually the Parks and Rec meetings will be out on the township website. In the meantime, you can get them on the Charter Township's YouTube page. They get posted out on that, so that you can catch those if you can't ever make it here. So, and we do post the Zoom link so that you can watch it live if you can't make it, so. All right, no more public comment? Parks and,
I would also mention one thing, I had the thought, you did come up with it, the farmer's market being held at Bedford Days, at the same place, I think would be very viable. And I like the idea of the clubhouse parking lot, to set up just the farmer market, vendors. But that would just be really awesome to see that partnership and them being invited to participate in Bedford Days is just awesome.
yeah, we will take care of asking for that. I don't know how long the farmer's market goes.
Sometimes it's like that first week in October.
Yeah, I know we have flyers out front,
Okay,
for the dates, but I think it was May 1st, October, first weekend of May until first weekend of October,
Okay.
but I might be wrong on that.
If we need to use the school parking lot, do we have to get permissions to utilize that for anything, whether it be just parking or?
Yeah. Last time we used it as like a staging area.
Okay.
So some people that had pre-made floats, they throw them down the night before and left them in that little side lot they built in the field next to it. And then, yeah, that's where all the volunteers were parking and then walking down to keep what limited parking the park has.
Do they still start it from up at the Masonic Temple? Okay.
all right, on to committee time. Mr. Rowland, nothing tonight. Mr. Finch,
I don't know if my mom is nervous or something, but for the Bedford Day thing, she thought that a talent show would be nice. I think, right?
a talent show?
Yeah.
Okay.
We used to do all that stuff at the schools.
Yep.
We'd have to have a little figure out a stage or something, probably under the pavilion somewhere.
What did we say was under the pavilion?
Or if we got the bed, I mean, if you want to spread it out, if you want, it doesn't have to be in the park. We might be able to get the Lions to donate the building use to have a talent show in the building. So anybody who wants to go up there and see the talent show could do it. I just don't know about logistics of it, but
Right.
but the little bands did really good down in the park. So it wouldn't be far for people to go, but I'm sure we could probably get the Lions Club to participate in that.
All right, I will find out.
Yeah, good idea.
Even if we don't get people for a talent show, which I'm pretty sure we could do some other staging up there. If it's not rented out.
Oh, yeah, that would be the other thing.
Yeah. But we'll find out. I don't have anything.
We got nothing extra.
The only other thing I'm gonna add, because this came up today when I stopped in at the township about East Gehrman Park. And I think I mentioned this right after July 4th, July 5th, whatever, the sign can come down.
Oh, yeah.
And then I can either pick it up or if they want to deliver it to Urbandale. It's up to those guys. But Joyce did mention, Clerk Baracco did mention today that she's asked them to repair the bars going down into the park, the pipe, which I noticed when I was out there the other day. Those are awful low. You got to be a short person to be able to hang on to them while you're walking down. But she said a couple of them are loose. So if somebody mentions to you that has been a work order for them will be done to fix those pipes. And hopefully all of that stuff, and the sign will be back up before Bedford Day. I do know that, so. All right, if no one else has anything, can I get a motion to adjourn?
I'll make the motion.
Oh, second. Seconds, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, this meeting is adjourned.